Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today we're going to get on with the development of this side of the city by doing this great big area here. And there's a reason why we've got a rad skate dude heading this way and a girl with roller skates as well. That's because we're going to be doing a great big skate park using the recessed area for some rad ramps. All right, well, what are we trying to achieve today then? And what do we have to achieve it with? Well, the first main constituent part is this absolutely lovely skateboard set from 2002. It's 6738, the Skateboard Challenge, and it's an Island Extreme stunt set, which is, well, unparalleled, really. I mean, Lego City have tried to do skateboard parks, well, almost every series, I think, but they've never quite got to the heady heights of this with a great big ramp. There were loads of advertising on, loads of lovely skate brands and so on, and even this branded Fabuland slide, which looks rather lethal if you ask me, but I've never been a skater, so I might be getting everything wrong today. But I always had this and never incorporated it into any of the iterations of Brick Nottingham because it's kind of an unwieldy shape, kind of a weird thing to be able to use efficiently. And at one point I was trying to get this whole thing kind of squeezed between two corners of track where it would have been incredibly lethal for anyone who made any sort of deviation or let their skateboard run away from them with passing trains on all sides. But I never thought that was kind of good enough, so it never made it in. But now we've got what I really wanted, which was a sunken area to make one of those kind of really big skate parks where it's all almost like a drained swimming pool with all sorts of different ramps and obstacles and different bits to go on all over the place with loads of users all at the same time on a combination of skateboards, roller skates, scooters we've got in here, and even a rad wheelchair of the sort of sporting variety, so we can have somebody going on a ramp in that as well. And yeah, I want to do it quite big as well, so I think it will be about a base plate and a half, sort of up to about here, probably the bottom of that slide, which still means it's going to be absolutely packed and stacked, because that is also very important to me. So yeah, what am I trying to do? Well, I've got that set as the main sort of part, but that's only going to fill a very small area of it. And even though this slide, in my opinion, isn't very realistic, I'm still going to try and incorporate that as well. Got this lovely sort of, well, what would you call it? Mound, I suppose, with some barriers on to do a rail slide or something like that. And I've also got loads of other parts that I've collected from all sorts of other sets over here as well. Gravity Games, stickers on all sorts of bricks, some flags there for Island Extreme stunts, little ramps, bigger flags, and loads of sort of iconography and even some graffiti. So I'm going to incorporate as many of those as I can, so it's absolutely clad in stickers. But I thought I need many, many more ramps than just this one, really. And although I've got one more half of this that I managed to get on a brick wall, it's nowhere near enough, is it? So I thought, well, let's go to the stunts line, because they had all sorts of these brightly coloured ramps. And I figured that if I just take the sort of lip bit that enables the bikes to get on it and put some tiles in between two halves of these, then I'll be able to create a half pipe, especially if I extend it a little bit higher on the vertical as well. And then we can use some really nice bright colours like orange, purple, and medium azure. And what's even better is that I've got those pieces already. And I wasn't the first person to do that, of course, because there was actually a Friends skate park set, 41751, back in 2023, where they did the same thing. Actually used a pair of these as a kind of half pipe. So I reckon if I've got a azure half pipe, an orange one, and a purple one, as well as our very prestigious main ramp, then I think we're going to have enough for a very sort of, I don't know, line of ramps along here that loads of users can be using at the same time, all next to each other. And then this half can be a bit more freestyle with loads of sort of street obstacles and big ramps. I think one of these 1x16 bricks should be a massive rail slide from the sort of high level down to the low level, which was also done on 3537 Skateboard Vert Park Challenge from 2003, which was a Gravity game set with even bigger ramps. So Yeah, I think that will be a really good scene. So, yeah, other things, I want it to be obviously completely sunken. So the highest bit will pretty much be level with street level. I want it really bright and colourful. So, when you're sort of over here, you're just drawn to it, this great big cacophony of different colours, which will be very much helped by the fact that we've got all these bright ones already from the stunt stuff. Then I want to have loads of different users, as I said, different bits of kit and doing different things and getting some serious airtime and stuff like that. And yeah, all up to about there, which gives us sort of another base plate to do something different over here, possibly a park with that statue in is the current sort of winning thought there. So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to do a lot of sort of structural work to get all the levels right. So when it's finished, it looks very smooth indeed, like one of those empty swimming pool type vibes. So we'll see. But I imagine mine's going to be a lot more of a death trap with too much crammed into a very small space and users bashing into one another. But, can't be helped. Right, I don't know where to get started, actually. I'll probably have to start measuring all of these ramps for depth first, won't I? Okay, well, this first ramp, the really big one, goes a bit deeper than the stunts one. So I think that's going to go directly onto the base plates, or maybe just one plate or so higher. But the ones behind it need raising up. So what I'm using is these really old 16 by 8 kind of bricks, I suppose, to raise up the next level. And some of them were a bit damaged and stuff. They were all sent in by a subscriber on one of my brick calls. So yeah, although it might take me a while to use the things you send in, they are very useful when I do. So yeah, that's brought that whole level up very simply, one brick height. And onto that, I've put a bright yellow back wall because I figured that will show up any graffiti we might put on it, or just be a nice sort of lighter colour against all these really strong colours when everything's in position. So that should be really good, I think, as well. So yeah, I've raised up by one brick height the stunts ramps, and then I think I can have those as little half pipes, but I don't want them like that. That's a bit too narrow. We need to have a bit of tilage in between, and then I can pretty much do something like that with all the different colours. So they're all joined together and making kind of a bigger picture. But, it's just different colouring, and maybe that means that, you've got a whole section to yourself when you're on it or something like that. And already, well, you get the idea. It's very, very bright indeed and looks very, very interesting. And then, because they don't go up that high at the top, we kind of need a vertical section. I mean, that's what they did on the stunt set that I cannibalized these Azure slopes from, which is a bit weird, actually. You had to do a loop-the-loop, which was great fun, but then still have enough oomph to go right up a slope and for some reason hit an alien from underneath to knock him off. I don't quite get the point of that, but anyway, I'm quite happy to cannibalize this. I'm very pleased that I haven't had to cannibalize my favourite stunt set, the chimpanzee smash stunt loop, because that is my favourite and genuinely quite enjoyed that one. But I suppose I could put this UFO onto our moon, couldn't I? Or something like that. It's a bit different from the ones we've got up here. Anyway, I digress. What am I talking about? Yes, we need a vertical section at the top of these ramps as well. So what I've done, using all of the tiles that came with this stunt set as well, and some studs on the side, made this sort of, tube, I suppose, of different sort of colours to go on the top here, which will sort of fit something like that, and just make them all a little bit more ramp looking. So that, I think, pretty much looks like a cool half pipe. And then that level will be exactly the same level as the tiling on the street and will be seamless. It will just be the colour coding that designates it as a skate area. So I think that will be really good. Bit of yellow showing in between the two. Yeah, I like it. This one won't be fully aligned with it, but, hey-ho. This is probably for the bigger kids. Cool, right, so I shall continue. And maybe get this whole area sort of finished off. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that looks really good with the top of the ramps in all the bright colours being seamless with the top of the pavement. So, yeah, I've kind of boxed in this area. It will be wasted, but whatever. We can't have that too near to the harbour, otherwise you've got the ramp and you'd fly straight over into the water or the boat ramp. But, yeah, talking of ramps, there we go. That is the flat section in the middle, just raised up a little bit, all tied in. We've got our sort of tube that we had firmly in position, and you notice I've put a clip on there using some different sized tiles, and that's so I can basically attach skateboarders in some interesting positions like that in action. Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? And I've also used the first of my Gravity Games stickers on the back wall there, and a ladder in between to get back out again, because I assume if you're rubbish at skating like me, with an incredibly high centre of gravity it feels like, then yeah, you need to be able to pick yourself up from the bottom and get the heck out of there. So there we go, that is that. So this will go here and here. Now I'm going to have to do a similar kind of bit on the back for a flat section, too wide for the colour, and maybe a bit further as well, I don't know, in grey. And then I think that will just be stopped there in a vertical slope before we do the more sort of street park type area. And then I need to get in with this bit, and we really have to start worrying about the profile here, filling it in, because it's a bit of a hard shape to marry up to. And you can see where I had a similar problem with the orange, had to use interesting slope pieces in combinations and plates and stuff, so when that is pushed down you can't see into the ugly underside. I think that's about as good as I can do there, but I think it looks all right actually. So yeah, it's working out rather well. I'm just loving the colour, loving the shapes, loving the variety, and when I've got loads of skaters all in interesting poses like this one, I think it'll look really good. So yeah, loads going on in this part of town. Wow, I just love these big blocks of colour. They look absolutely amazing on these ramps. You could almost do a second set of ramps sort of on the other side in different colours, have them completed in the middle, and you'd be done. It would look absolutely amazing. But I am kind of committed to this street challenge section with loads of things to slide on, ollie off or round or under or whatever it might be. Showing off my terminology there. So the next bit is a kind of dividing wall which will act as the back of the ramps. So we've got the ramp top bits here, and although this will be hidden underneath it, it won't when it's on the other side. So I kind of added some lime stripes to make it even more bright and interesting from the block colours, but that has got a bit of an overhang, so we've got a decent enough place for the skaters to stand when they're on that side, but that fits in there. Yeah, looking good. The lime's a bit in shadow, but it's better than not having it, I think. And oh, that looks good, doesn't it? And look, oh, symmetry. Love that as well. Those colours really pop together. And then I've got a few attachment points on the top. That one isn't for a skater, it's for an old school stereo with a CD player in it. Wow, that's showing its age. So have some tunes banging out for when you're skating. I like the idea of that. I've got a pair of studs here. I've done all sorts of different bricks in here for attachment points to get it working so it works on both sides, whilst also having attachment points and things like that all over it. So it's quite complicated in there. But that's just so I can have some roller skater or something like that standing there as well. But this one on the back is a fork connection, I think they call it in Lego terms, which will take my incredibly long rail slide. That's the idea from that Vert Challenge set with the Gravity Games sticker on one side. And I thought, let's try and attach that here, left-handed, see if we can do it. Oh, there we go. God, that would be terrifying, wouldn't it? I thought that would be really good and quite an obstacle for the street scene. And because it hasn't got stickers on both sides, I'm going to transfer the stickers from my other one of those bricks onto it, so it's both-sided, using my patented hot tea technique, which will be really good actually, because I'm a bit parched, as you may be able to tell from my voice, from working this long. So that would be a good break. And well, I kind of want it on both sides, because although you have to lean quite a way round to see that side sticker, you know, I'll know it's there and it'll look better for photographs or whatever, maybe you'll be able to see it from some sort of angle in the future. So yeah, I think it's worth the effort. So that will be really good as well. And then, much as I like the yellow backdrop to show things up against, I'm going to use dark blue as the tiling for the kind of rubberized floor of this sort of area, because though probably not rubber for friction, but you know what I mean, just because I want things to pop out against it, so it wants to be a bit muted, if you ask me. And I've left a little segment in there for the next of our obstacles, which is this great big kind of ridge crest tile pieces that are on this slope. And as soon as I saw these, I thought, oh, they have to go in a skate park. And indeed, somebody else at Lego clearly had the same idea, because they were almost straight away afterwards. And yeah, I just put in the red, orange, yellow and bright yellow bits to give it the profile a bit of interest. That grey level will be submerged into the tiles when I've pushed it properly down. So that looks like that. So yeah, you could probably jump off there if you're a daredevil, or off here, slide down there, and then you'd have to quickly duck under that so you didn't brain yourself. But yeah, it's going to be ridiculously unsafe and congested, but I kind of like the mayhem idea, as you probably know from all my other videos. And I was thinking of, well, there aren't many places where I'll be able to incorporate this slide, so I'm sort of thinking that might go something like that. So yeah, it's going to be ridiculous pretty soon, but I shall keep going via some tea and sticker moving. Well, sticker successfully moved and tea drunk, and I've swapped over the tiles on the bottom of this ramp to lime, and I'm not sure I like them actually, but I'm going to be adding a lot more lime in a minute, so basically it might tie in better when it's got some company. And 2 steps forward, 1 step back in a way, because I realise for the ideal sort of spacing of this flat section up here and its opposing number, which will be over here, that basically I've done everything I've done 1 stud too far to the left, and it will matter when it's all trying to sort of marry up when we get to the other end, otherwise there'll be a gap in the base plate. So yeah, I've had to kind of pick everything up and move it all 1 stud to the right, which is a bit annoying, but given it was on loads of big supporting bricks, it wasn't actually the end of the world. And that means that I can add this section into hopefully its final position now, with some steps with tread plate stickers on, everyone's favourite, in the style that I have elsewhere, going to this flat area, and some nice sort of fences to prevent somebody going right over the edge into the marina. And then for the edge here, I just need to box it in because we're standing in Brick Bay to a degree, but I kind of figure that Brick Bay ends about here, and then we've got the guillotine that represents the standing hole kind of coming down and chopping there. So maybe this skateboard park is actually bigger and goes on more towards us. So this is really just a slice through the earth. So I could do some, you know, archaeological or dinosaur bone type scenes in the cross section. But for now, I'm just going to add this panel, which I don't remember what set it came from really. With these sort of brick bits and mossy bits and so on. Possibly a Harry Potter set, or maybe it was sent in by one of you, I can't remember. If it was, I've used it, and then that base plate will fit perfectly in there, and I can tile that whole area off. And to give the top of this big ramp a bit more height as well, I'm actually going to make it 3D sticking up above the surface. So I've got another one of my Gravity Games stickers to have facing the ramp itself, so it looks like that. And then that will join onto the base plate, and we can have a bit of a step up onto it there. So we'll have tiles continuing here, step, step in lime, then the sticker, then the ramp, then, well, we're going to need a second ramp, aren't we? Because I want this to be one of those ones where you can kind of go over one and leap straight onto the second one. So we'll have another ramp in here, and then another one of these flat line bits with Gravity Game stickers on both sides of that, making the crest of that. So I'll push all that down properly in a minute, but you get the idea. That looks pretty good. Now, we are going to have the end of this about here. So the thing is, I don't think we've got room for another of these, and also I don't have another of these. So basically, when you do your sort of loopy loop, loopy loop, loopy loop, and then go right over onto this one, then you better be able to turn a corner or go this way, maybe into the continuation of the skate park, because otherwise you're going to go straight into a wall. But that is unavoidable, and maybe it's the calamity we need to make the scene even more fun. Anyway, as for these tiles, they're now joined up with more lime. I prefer it now we've got all of it together, but I think we'll have a little bit more there. So let's make our decision in a short while. But yeah, I'm loving the 3D element of this skate park. And yeah, it really draws the eye actually, doesn't it? Race scene, marina, skate park. Lovely. All right, well, I've finished off all of that area and boxed it all in, and it's looking very smart indeed with the cross section. And you can see I've just started putting on a bit of brown to represent sort of soil, earth, to continue our blue line that we've got for the water, and olive line for the transition between the two, where it's all got a bit murky. I really don't have very many brown bricks, so I'm going to have to put those on the wanted list so I can go a bit deeper and, well, the full length, because, well, we'll probably have to go around the entire brick bay at some point with a load of bricks. And maybe in due course I could add some underground scenes like earthworms and bones, like I said earlier. But yeah, all the ramps are in, and including the sort of off ramp there. And that's all in lime. And now I've got 4 sections of it. I think it is starting to tie together, actually. What do you think? Put your idea in the comment section to the lime colouring. But I think now it works. And you can start to imagine how much of a tight turn you're going to need to do at the bottom of this ramp if that little bit of green that you can see there is where the wall is going to start. I'll probably put a ramp on it or something like that so you can do a bit of an emergency wall ride if you have to. But that would be about all we can fit in, because these two are going to be at full street level, kind of up here, there and there sort of thing, to continue this off. So we've got the next section being flat with the rest of the city. And I've started putting in a couple of smaller slopes as well for when you come off our rail ride. So that's an Island Extreme Stunts one there. And that's actually got this weird colour. I mean, it's called something like a pale yellow. It's very old and very rarely used, but yeah, it kind of looks like really badly sun-damaged white, doesn't it? But I've got a Belleville, I think it was a towel rail in the same colour, and put that on the top because that's the sort of thing you see in a skate park as well. So that looks pretty good. And you can see I've got all the blue tiling around the edges. And I've just got to decide what I'm doing with the rest. I think I want to break up that blue with a bit more colour in certain places, but generally speaking, it's going to be quite dark with all of the kind of, I want to call them rides, bits of equipment kind of popping instead. And I've got more of these bricks, the Gravity Games ones, to go along the top rim of that level like we have on that side over there. But yeah, it's looking pretty good now, populated with some people. Young chap here with his skates, like that very much. And then him jumping off there. I might need to get this connecty piece in lime if it's possible. I'll have to check the catalogue just so it shows up a little less, though it doesn't look too obvious that he's attached there. But you can get some really dynamic poses as a result. I'll probably try and get that wheelchair with a guy in it sort of doing somersaults off the end as well, because that is absolutely staggeringly amazing in real life. So yeah, that would be really cool on the purple one in the middle. But wouldn't you know it, I've run out of time, I think. Yeah, I'd really like to push on and get that final sort of square finished, and then all of this side, but we're taking things in and out and having to try them and test them and all the rest of it. It takes absolutely ages to get everything looking this right. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it a break there and do part 2 later. But we have done quite a lot, haven't we? I mean, it looks absolutely stunning, the half that we finished, I think, with those bright block colours. I love the kind of big boy ramp with all of its advertising on the near side. That slide down there, that slide across there, all the interesting colours, little shapes, all the rest of it, stickers, absolutely love it. And it's the real sort of depth next to everything else that really is interesting. And I'm going to have some big sort of high sort of banners and stuff like that using all those other sticker pieces in due course. But yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely great when it's finished. It's just a shame. Well, if I don't get on with the editing, you won't have anything to watch at all. So yeah, we're going to have to break now. But I will push on with this next time. So we've finished another section, and then we'll be back up to street level to do, well, whatever's next to finish this entire side. Well, this half of it anyway. Well, as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos and for part 2 of this wonderful skate park. I think it's shaping up very nicely indeed. Look great when it's done. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing this, part 2. With a wall for people to crash right into, and loads of other obstacles and stuff like that. We'll also be doing a brick haul on our sister channel on Wednesday to get more bricks for projects like this. And until all of that, see you! Yeah. You see, there is a use for stunt sets.